And please make sure that, so if you're not able to do it and if you're stuck somewhere else, let me know. I can help you on that. So I'm going to give the access to share your screen. So, and after that, I can help you. So the Google, right? So just go ahead and type the Snowflake trial account creation, trial account. That's all. So here is the official site. So here we're supposed to be provide the few details like first name and then last name. And here we have to enter the our email ID. So what are the email ID we want to give it to? And this is only 30 days trial only, 30 days trial. And we have to mention the company name. So you can just mention any one of the random company. And here you need to select the any one of the role which you're working on. Select any random one. So it's not a big deal. And after that, so if you want to click on continue, so you'll get an email. So by showing you this one. So congratulations by getting the started Snowflake. So only thing is we just need to activate the click on activate button. That's all. And before that, so here once you click on the continue, so you'll get an options like which cloud you want to access. Okay. For safe side, let me give in the one of the trainings email ID here. So email ID. So I'm just giving the random IDs. So data engineer role, continue. So after that, so once we enter the email, so here we're supposed to be select the Snowflake edition. So the Snowflake edition is mainly, we have the three different types. One is the standard, enterprise, as well as the business critical. So for us, enterprise is more sufficient, more than sufficient what we have. Just select with the enterprise. And after that, here we need to select the which cloud provider you want to use it for the storage purpose for staging layer. So here I'm selecting the AWS. And anyway, we don't need to create any Azure account, AWS S3 or something GCP account. We don't need to create. So internally, the Snowflake account. So internally, the Snowflake will create account inside the any one of the existing cloud. So what are you selected? So based on that, it will create, and we don't need to bother about that one. Okay. And here, so just indicate this one. And if you select it to the Azure, right? So by default, it will goes to the India Pune location, the nearest by server. If it's AWS, by default, it's going to the Singapore. Okay. That's how. And after that, so just you need to select the get started. And you can skip the some references here. So just they're asking some kind of feedback. You don't need to do that. So just click on skip. Okay. Later, so you'll get an email ID from the Snowflake. So click to activate. So once you click on that, so account will be activated. So now we have to use this below mentioned URL to login. Okay, make sure that. So once you click on activate here, right? So here it's going to asking you to enter the username and password after activated, right? So you must and should enter the your username and then password. It's going to ask you to repeat the password as well. That's all. So we just need to click on sign up. That's all. Continue. So next time onwards, if I want to log in, so you can come here in your mailbox. So just click on this mentioned URL. Once you activate it, so you can access it. Click on this one, HTTPS, and this is the account ID and official snowflakecompute.com and the console. This is how. So here I'm supposed to be what are the credentials I have mentioned. I have to provide the same thing here. Then click on sign in. Any doubts so far? Everyone able to create? Any issues? Shiva, Vani, Shravani, Sandeep, asking everyone. Shabari.
Yeah, done. I created. Please share link.
Okay. What about others? Natraj, Arun.
Yeah, I have already created this one.
Okay. Okay. So done, right? I think most of the. So one is Shravani, Devi, Monica. So please unmute your mics. I'm not able to hear you. Please speak out.
Yes, yes, I'm good. Hello.
Okay. Yeah, Monica, go ahead.
Yes, yes, I'm able to do it. Yeah.
Okay. So what about others? Rest of the people. One is Shravani, Devi, Nagesh. Done, right? Most of the people.
But
Okay.
we don't get the timestamp you had, right? 23 hours, something. Can you
No,
share it?
this, yeah, so these two, right?
Yeah, first two.
Yeah, these two I have created earlier yesterday because this
Mm,
activate email ID not for today's one. 2 days back I have created my account.
okay, got it.
So the one
Remaining
I given
four.
the email ID that was different email ID. So just want to show you the how we give the different option while creating the account. So
Got it.
whatever email ID I'm using it right now, this is a 2 days back. And for testing purpose, I have opened the two worksheets. So that's the reason here you're able to see two previous worksheets. So it's yesterday's one, right? See,
Yeah.
648,
Yes.
736 versions.
Yeah.
For you, you will get only tutorial 1 to 4 something.
1 to 4
And
and
this
the
is a
benchmark tutorial. Yeah.
benchmark tutorials. And here you will get the, I can explain you how it, what are the things we're supposed to be follow here. You don't need to worry. Let's get started here. First thing is left hand side, what are you able to see? This all deals with the account level activation. That means who is the user and what kind of role he is using right now. So right now I'm using a account admin and you don't need to worry about these roles. We'll discuss about the importance of roles. We'll discuss in the further sessions. We'll be having the different roles here. Organization admin, public, security admin, okay, sysadmin as well as user admin. So far I want to perform all kind of operations. So that's the reason I'm selecting as a account admin. In real time, this account admin will be entire account, right? So entire Snowflake account, only one or two people will be having the account admin access. Most of the time, we'll be having the client level basis roles where you will get database name underscore R. R means read only. WO, write only something. RW, read and write permissions. So that we can create. So where we need to create the roles and inside that under the role, we need to add the list of the users. Okay. So that we can do. And I'm not going to confuse you at all right now. So just focus on only the account admin so far. This is all deals with the role level and we'll be having the profile. So this profile is basically it will gives you the just basic understanding about your profile photo, what's your username, first name, last name, and a password what you given for the login, email ID, as well as the default role. Okay, here you can change it. That means if I change it to security admin, right? Whenever I log in, by default it will use the security admin only. Okay, so that's all about the role. And when it comes to the warehouses, don't worry about this one. This warehouse is nothing but so to run your workflows, to run your commands, the SQL commands, right? So we need one server, kind of a RAM. So that will be the by default here compute underscore warehouse. Here I can create the multiple warehouses. If I create those, then those all warehouses will be listed here. in real time, we're going to create multiple warehouses as well based on the client requirement and as well as the number of workforce in the organization level. So based on that, we used to create compute underscore small, compute underscore large, compute underscore Excel. Okay, if you're handling a small amount of data, then I'll select the small size warehouse. That means it will be having some certain amount of small RAM. If it's a large, then it will be having the some extra double amount of RAM. Okay, and anyway, once we comes to the warehouse section, I'll explain you what are the different types of warehouses we can create. What's the pricing would be there for while selecting a warehouse. I'll explain you that part. Okay, and here we'll be having the language. So I think in Japanese also we can able to see this one. So for Snowflake is supporting English as well as the Japanese, this entire theme, and we'll be having the notification in the background. So if you want, you can select this one. And this is a multi-factor authentication. I think most of the people are already having idea about the MFA authentication, MFA, right? Even for the Google account also, it's gonna asking you to enter the mobile number as well. So even if you enter a password, sometimes it's gonna asking you to verify one more time using the multi-factor authentication. So once you enter mobile number, you will get a code. Similar to that, we can do this one. We have multiple options here while enrolling the MFA, where you can get the code as well, or you'll get the scanning kind of Microsoft Authenticator. Also, we can do this one, or we have the Authy app as well. That is also one way to authenticate your logins. Those all things we can do it through using the MFA, multi-factor authentication. Any doubts under profile? So shall I take it as a no doubts or
Yeah, okay.
okay?
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And here we'll be having the next a few more options as well. Dashboards and okay, first thing is worksheets here. Okay, worksheets, dashboards, data, marketplace, activity, admin, help and support. And here, what are you seeing here? So this is all deals with the account, how many days trail left for your account. Okay, and for testing, training purpose, you don't need to go for the upgrade options. Just create the multiple accounts. Only thing is, so you can create all of your things into one or two or maybe the multiple worksheets. You can download them. Okay, kind of backup. Download them, and once you created the new account, right? So from there you can upload it to the new account as well. All these worksheets you can copy paste them. So that's one of the advantage. So we don't need to worry about the data, where you can just do the single click. It will automatically creates everything. So that's the reason I'm asking you to do. Don't create and then remove the entire statement from your worksheet. So if possible, maintain everything into the multiple worksheets. So for example, right now, if you're working for the database, create one separate sheet for database. Okay, I'll tell you how to do that. So just I'm giving a heads up to how to maintain the worksheets. And here, so here you'll get the some, if you click on the there's a snowflake symbol, you'll get some doc related. And here, whatever you're seeing this one, right, BX18370, this is my account ID, account ID, account ID. And if I click on here, right, so here I can able to see the my entire account ID. And if you want to get the URL, yes, copy the account URL. If I click on this one, right, I'll get the complete see. This is my official Snowflake account URL. This is a unique one for each and every account. And here you can also copy only the account identifier. That means only BX18370. Okay. And this is the organization level code. Okay. And which cloud you have used. Okay. And the region as well. And what's the edition you have used. So I selected the business critical. So that's the reason here I can able to see business critical. But for you, maybe you selected standard or the next version of what is the enterprise level. That one you'll get it here. This is a kind of locator for your account. Okay, we don't need to bother about all of this. Only focus on this account ID. That's all. Okay, and you don't need to log out. For example, if you have the multiple Snowflake accounts, okay, one is official office account, one is a personal account. You don't need to sign out and then log in one more time. Simply you can do with the sign into another account as well. You can easily switch it from the one account to another account here. So that's the thing about the all this one. And first thing is we have to come to the worksheets. These worksheets are nothing but where you will get the graphical user interface to write your queries. It's a kind of notebooks only. Okay. And here, once I click on the worksheets here, I can able to see the few different options here. The recent one which we open now, okay, whatever the recent one you have opened, those all you will get it here. For example, Shabri created one of the worksheet and he made some creation statements, some transformations commands into that, and he shared with me. Okay, then I can able to see it here under the shared with me tab. So if I come here, my worksheets, so whatever the access I have the created one, I can able to see those. And here you can create the folders as well. Here you can create the folder. For example, dev, I can create separate worksheets. For UAT, I can create separate folder. And for production, I can create separate worksheets. So mainly for referencing purpose. It's gonna change it for the user to user level as well. But I'm just giving the heads up to where you can maintain your worksheets a very detailed way. Making sense or still having any doubts? Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and create one folder as well. So for that, here you need to come here. So here I can create the folder. So here I can create a dev environment. See, so inside this dev environment folder, I can able to create the worksheets here. See, SQL worksheet or Python worksheet. So I would like to create a SQL worksheet. So once you click on the SQL worksheet, right? So this entire window was changed. So here you can edit the name as well, rename. So here I would like to perform some database operations. Database operations. Just database up. That's all. Let me remove the previous open tabs, the worksheets. So this is a recent one. Okay. Here, whatever you're seeing, right? Here you have the multiple options as well. Let me show you once again. So you have to come here, the worksheets. Okay. So see the one which we created right now, database underscore operations. And also you can access it from the folders as well. Inside this one, we can go to the dev environment and we'll be having the this one. I think it was not refreshed, so it has to change the title as well.
So first, before worksheet, we need to create an environment, or what is the steps? Can you repeat again, please?
No, environment is not required, Shabari. So as I'm just saying, worksheets is a kind of where you can. It's a kind of notebooks only. We don't need to
Yeah.
create any environment.
Okay.
I'm saying it's mainly for referencing to make it easy. That's all.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, because by seeing this notebook name, right, I can easily understand. Otherwise, see, if it's a time basis of format, right, is it bit difficult to understand what is the purpose
Correct.
of
Correct.
it,
Oh,
right?
the naming standard you are saying. Understood.
And naming standards, I'm saying.
Okay. No, you went to worksheet and click the plus, right? I missed that part.
Yes, yeah, I can show you one more time. So
Okay.
you can come to the folder here, the last tab here. Here you can create the plus. So plus is
No,
mainly for creating the folder worksheet.
sorry, Surya, it is
Python.
not catching up. It is slow in our side. I
Oh,
can't able to see. Yeah, that's why
yeah.
I'm asking.
Maybe I'll check with others. Is it only for Shabari for everyone? Shiva,
lagging for
Stravani,
me.
Sandeep. Oh, then GoToMeeting was slow. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go slow only, Shabri, and let me know if you're stuck anywhere.
Yes.
So right now I'm at the worksheets tab. Okay, inside that we'll be having the multiple tabs, right? Recent, shared with me, my worksheets, and then folders.
For my worksheets and folders. Okay.
Yeah. So click on the folder here,
Mhm.
and right side top corner you can able to see the plus.
Plus. Okay.
If you click on that, there you can able to create a folder. So I can create
All right.
UAT as well here.
Got it.
So now I've entered into the UAT folder right now. Okay, here, so we can create a worksheet from the SQL file, or we can delete the folder, or we can do the bulk. This is not required, bulk update role for the worksheets. Okay, don't do that one. And here I can create the one worksheet for SQL. So this is for uploading. Sorry. So here, if you click on right side, same top corner, create worksheet
Okay. Plus symbol.
plus symbol. So this is a UAT environment, database operations, for example, database operations. That's all. Able to follow, right? So this is a,
Yes.
let me rename this one. This is for dev environment. Now, Shabari, by seeing this one, it's easy, right? So which one is the dev and which one is the UAT environment databases sheet?
That folder. Yeah.
Yeah, folder. The naming convention to make it
It will
simplified.
be
That's
easy.
a lot more than that.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So now let's go to the dev database operations only. And so for left hand side, whatever you're seeing, right? So this all deals with the objects. In Snowflake, remember that. So database, schema, table, views, this all as a objects only. Okay. Everything is an object here. Snowflake. Okay. And don't worry about this part right now. Okay. Let's focus on the remaining things. Later we'll come to the this worksheets. Okay. We'll go step by step. I hope now you're able to see the main home page. Everyone able to see the home page? Shabari, Shiva, everyone.
Yes. I can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have the few more options as well in terms of the dashboards where you can create some dashboards to where you can get some visualizations of your data, and so far it's not required. So once we created some data, okay, once you perform some certain kind of operations, then we'll create some dashboards here. Okay. As of now, just don't go to the dashboards, and here we'll be having the data. Okay, this data is nothing but so how many databases you have created, inside that how many schemas you have, how many tables, how many materialized views, how many functions, how many tasks, streams, everything will be, we can access it from the GUI interface as well. So that is from here, databases. If you click on the database, so this is how you can able to say this is the database name. By default, once you create it, you're gonna get a Snowflake and Snowflake underscore sample data. This stored to databases. And remember this one. So this is a very important one. So don't do any changes to the Snowflake. Remember this one. Don't do any changes to the Snowflake database. And we'll be having the private sharing as well. This private sharing is nothing but if who are people shared with me the data, right? For example, Shabari created some data around of it. Okay. Uh, so once he entered my email ID something, right? So I can able to see that particular database from my account as well once I come to the private sharing. And also I can able to share the data to someone else as well. And also I can create the reader accounts as well. People who don't have the Snowflake account, still even though I can able to uh, share the data with them. by creating the reader account. So anyway, we'll talk about those things later. Okay, I'm just explaining the how the private sharing will work, and we'll be having the provider studio as well. So once we, for example, you are the provider, then you can able to do some certain kind of changes here. Okay, that part is not required for us now. So this is our data level governance, and that is also not required. And marketplace. So for example, you want any specific data from the market, right? I can able to get the data. So by just going, this is a kind of marketplace. In AWS also we have marketplace, right? Similar to that, in Snowflake also we have the marketplace where you can able to get the some certain amount of data free of cost only. If you need some extra data, then we have to pay. Okay, for example, I want some free data. If you click on free data here, see here some you want some COVID-19 this data, right? So if you click here or worldwide address data, if I click on here, so get. So it will take a few minutes or some time. Okay, so it's a no storage cost, everything is free of cost only. Okay, and here we can add the roles, who can able to access this database. If it's only account admin, we can select it to account admin by default, or if you want to give the access to some other roles as well, then you can select those. And by default I'm selecting it to only account admin. If I click on get, uh, so now I can able to query the data as well. That means so we don't need to create any data sets to work on the Snowflake environment. Okay, but for basics to understand how to create that, I can show you. This is only for testing purpose. Okay, where you already having some experience on the Snowflake, or you want to do some transformation, some integration, some policies, or replication failover, some users creations, everything. If you want to do it as some testing or some existing data, then you have to uh, this is a useful one. But for real time, we won't get this kind of format of data. We are the person responsible for creating the databases, altering the databases, or loading the data to tables and everything. We're the responsible. Simple. So if I click on done here, I can come to the data here. Now I can able to see the COVID-19 data as well. Everyone able to see? Because I got it from the marketplace. It's a kind of where you can go to the market and buy your data. Making sense? Everyone, Shabari, Shiva.
It's a free data. We just pull it, or you need to
It's a free
export.
free data only. Free data only, Shabari. While selecting the data from the marketplace, right? I have
Uh-huh.
filtered only for free data. See, this is a free data. I selected one of the filter free data. Then I
Uh,
got the a list of the data providers, which they are completely free of cost only.
yeah, worldwide address data. Yeah,
Everything is free of cost only.
yep.
And one more thing, as I mentioned, so how importance of the role, right? I can show you that. So while extracting the data from this particular marketplace, right, I have selected only for account admin. So that's the reason if I come to the data here, I can able to see the this particular database as well, which we got it from the marketplace. Imagine I shifted to another role. I switched to another role, something user admin or public. Imagine the case. Now see, I'm not able to see that database. Why? Because that database was restricted to only account admin. People who are having access to that particular role, they can only see that database. Rest of the people, no, they cannot. That's how the marketplace will work. And we have some. Let 1 second, team. Sorry, team. So for any doubts, so for any
Available.
doubts, no, right?
No,
Shabari. Okay, Nataraj. Okay. Nagesh,
No, no. You
Monica.
just put the data and use it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna use that. But for our section, right, what we're gonna do, we'll create our own database, own tables, just to understand how to create all of those.
Okay,
If I go ahead and use that data, right, I won't understand how to create the database, how to create the scheme. I won't understand.
correct.
So that's the reason. So we'll go from the scratch only, where I can explain how to create the database and everything. So let's get started that section as well. So now let's go ahead and go with the worksheets here, where I can go to the Dev database here. Here, as I'm the account admin role, right, I can able to see all the list of the objects here. Now here, right hand side, see, let me explain the step by step here. So here, the left hand part you're seeing, right? This is mainly for accessing the database, schema, tables, views, and everything. Okay. For example, okay, let's create one here. Then we'll get more understanding. Let me remove the remaining sheets here. Here you can able to create the new sheets as well. That's the one option. And here the what kind of role you are using now. So from here also you can switch it. And this is a warehouse, the default one. And if you want to share with someone else, then I have to provide the name or username. Okay. So if I enter your email, you'll get an email notification here. So people with link, they can only see, or they can only see the results, or they can able to see as well as the run the query as well. I can do multiple settings here while sharing the worksheets. As of now, I'm not sharing with anyone so far. Just click on done here. And now here, first let's create the one of the database. Here I'm creating the database. So for that, we have to use create database, and sample keyword won't work here. So remember that. So Harsha, I can create trainings. That's all. Okay. And here you can do some settings as well for each and every worksheets here. So these settings were related to highlight the statements. That means if I mouse over wherever my mouse was there, right, it will gonna select the complete query. Okay. Highlight, that's all. So I just need to perform the execution here. So right hand side, you can able to see the play symbol. This is a kind of executing your statements. So that is a one way to do, or else I can select this entire thing to the control enter. That's a one way to create the database. See, so the database was created, able to see, and here the results section. So here whatever operation we are given to perform, right? So database Harsha trainings was successfully created. And right hand side you can able to see the query results, how much time it took for creation. And if you just mouse over here, it will give the clear detailed explanation about the how much time it took for the compilation, how much time it took for the execution purpose, and total time as well. And for every query we have executed, by default for every creation, not for every creation, every execution, you will get a query ID as well. This is my query ID. Okay, and this is a status, so is it 100% success or not? So you're going to get the complete status as well. For example, there is a union all statement. There's almost 100 lines of code was there. Sometimes in between there is an end part your query got failed. It's going to give you some certain 70 or 80% of the status. Okay, and here I can able to do this search here. So if you want to set something here based on the query ID, you can do this one. And here the column specifications are available, and here you can download the results as well, and you can set the we can hide the status, the stats as well. If I do that, I won't get the statistics viewpoint here. If I click on here, then I get the statistics. That's all. And here you're not able to see this Harsha trainings from the left side because it was not refreshed the sheet. If you come here, just refresh it. Now I can able to see the Harsha trainings here, the database name. Okay, and here this trainings, whatever you see, the source, replication, owner, when it was created, any comments you provided for the creation, and definition, what the definition you have used for creating this particular database. For the schema also you'll get the same, for table also you'll get the same, for view, task, stream, pipes, everything will be same. That means you will get the definition as well. We don't need to perform like any SQL to get the DDL statements where we need to provide the get a DDL something, right? You don't need to do that. Simply you can come here, do this one. Pretty simple and straightforward. Okay, and I'll show you different ways to create the database, where we can alter the database, drop the database, and we have few more options as well. And while creating the database, so before going to that main section, right? So in terms of handling the worksheets, any doubts for everyone? Shabari, Natraj, Shiva,
Surya, Surya, can you explain that how you are creating the worksheet, your worksheet? One more time.
worksheets. Yes. So first thing is once you just come to the
Because
home
your
page,
screen
this
is
is a
lagging actually. You're showing something and we are seeing something. Screen is lagging.
oh, I think go to meeting creating some problem here. Let's just let me know once you're able to see my home screen of the Snowflake account.
Yeah, we are able to see.
Able to see, right? The
Yeah.
left hand side. So by default, when once you log in, it will be goes to the worksheets only. Correct. Okay.
Yes.
So whenever you want to create, and you don't want to create any inside the folder, just you want to create on worksheets. So right hand top side corner. Okay. There is a plus icon. Click on that SQL worksheet. Okay, here you can give the name for this one. Here if you want to give the name, just rename it testing purpose, testing. So that's my name of the worksheet.
So it will, so you are browsing from recent, right? Or by default it will go to sit and dev environment folder or what?
Oh no,
Which,
if you go to the folder, see, very simple. For example, if I go to the Windows machine, right, you're creating the file on the desktop. That means the file will be created on the desktop, not in the folder, right? If you go ahead
okay.
and open the inside the folder, go to the folder, then once you inside that particular folder,
So
if you
this
created the
this
file,
testing worksheet where it will be generally?
yeah, by
It
default
is
it's on
in
the
worksheets. It's
worksheets
worksheets.
only, worksheets, not inside the folder. If I come to
Okay.
the folder here, if I go to the Dev environment, I can able to see the only one, the one I created earlier. See, not all. Making sense? So this is for the segregating the worksheets to make it simplify, right? Where we are just segregating the worksheets. If you want to create a certain format, certain folder wise, you can do that. Or else if you
Once
don't
you,
want to do that, right?
yeah,
Yeah, go
got
ahead.
it.
Sorry.
Once you open the worksheet, then only you can write it that statement, right? Create database
Yes,
something.
yes. So previously I created something, right? If I come here, I can able to see here, see the worksheets. And if you want to access the worksheets, right, here only you can able to navigate worksheets. See, I think now, I think this is making more clear understanding for you. See,
Yeah.
so this is a folder level. And if I want to create a folder level, I have to select this one, then I can create the plus button.
Hmm.
See, I can plus button. That means the worksheets will be created inside this folder. If I'm not selecting anything, means it will create under the worksheets folder. Not folder, it's a kind of worksheet. The UI, direct UI only it will create.
Can we
I hope
delete
I'm.
created worksheets?
Yes, yes, we can say I can right click on here. See, rename, duplicate, delete, or move to a different folder or something. For
Okay.
example, you created Russ. For example, I created somewhere else, different folder. I want to move it to dev environment folder then. See, so this is a dev. Right now, you're able to see this is a dev database operations, right? But I
Hmm.
don't know by mistake it was created inside somewhere else. but I want to move it to dev environment. So simply click on three dots here, move dev environment.
Okay.
See, now if I come here, I can able to see this one. See how cool it is. Okay, and you can rename it, and you can do, see, you can duplicate the entire sheet, or you can delete it, you can rename it and move to different folders as well, and you can go to the new dashboards as well, and you can remove from the folder as well. For example, I want to remove it from this folder because it was a different one. I don't want to maintain it. I can remove from the folder. Then it will comes to the where? Out of the folder, right? It's a parent folder now. Making sense,
So,
Ratras?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I think
so
someone is
the
asking.
the moving from the higher environment to lower environment, right? That's
Hmm.
lower to higher is also allowed.
Yes, we can do that until unless if you are the administrator, the account admin. Okay.
Okay. But even though if
Basically,
somebody else accidentally moved dev to production, that's not a
huh,
security, right?
exactly. So for that reason only, we are going to create a multiple roles, right? See,
Okay.
we are not going to give the all the people to move the worksheets, creating some random environment, creating some random databases in the production environment, right? So we're going to restrict the list of the users. Okay, for this list of 10 users, only get the read-only permission. They can't do any operations. Only read-only.
Read only. Okay. Even though
Yeah.
admin,
Hmm.
if this happened to our project too. If somebody else fired on Friday, that guy can
Oh, okay.
override and go. No, I'm just
Okay.
telling. It's a
Okay.
hypothetical scenario, right? That
Okay.
secure,
Yes.
even though that guy have access, admin
Okay.
access, you have to have some kind of restriction, right? Otherwise, dev will be moved to production, or UAT is moving to production. I don't know what are we going to achieve this kind of, production to lower environment. I understand. So usually we wanted to do the some kind of
Hmm.
testing. You need a data.
Correct. And then moreover, see, Shabri, here, this is mainly for these worksheets, only for the web UI level operations only, mostly for
Okay.
selecting the data, some certain kind of
Uh,
operations. When you are
correct.
dealing with the production level, right, we won't do this kind of worksheets at all because we're gonna use the GitLab changes, GitLab,
Oh, so GitLab. So you have a
CI/CD
proper,
pipelines.
okay,
Proper way to deploy all the changes,
deployment
right?
process. Yeah, deployment process.
Deployment process. So otherwise, as you mentioned, if someone is by mistakenly drops the worksheet or something, some mistakenly executed something on top of this one, it's going to affect it to the entire production environment.
Correct, correct.
So we won't do it for the production deployment process. This is this worksheets, right, as I mentioned, mainly for just get the web UI and where you can able to do some certain kind of operation. And as I
Oh,
mentioned, Shavri, one more time. So production environment, most of the people don't have the access. People who have
yeah,
some complete end-to-end experience only, they can get the prod environment access.
access. Okay.
Yeah, even I have some around close to 3 years into this Snowflake environment, right? So I got only certain limited access to the certain databases, not all databases at all.
In production.
They're gonna restrict, right? So why they're
Yeah,
gonna provide all the access to the for every database, every table, every schema? No, they
got it.
won't allow. Unless if you're working for any public domain or basic client, they're going to give complete access. But we are working
Understood.
for insurance or some banking, right? They're not going to give any access to
They give access. Got it.
environments. Yes,
Understood.
and that way, as I mentioned, right, most of the times we won't get a GUI interface
Uh,
based on the requirement. So we have to use the GUI interface. Otherwise, we have to go with that Snowflake SQL, SnowSQL. It's a command line basis.
command line. Okay.
Yeah. Now as we know, right, command line is not that much simple to handle all of things at once. It's pretty difficult to do everything, right?
But you will cover in your course, right?
Yes, I'll cover how to connect to the Snowflake SQL. That's we can call it as a Snow SQL. How to connect those and how can we able to access those from here. I can show you that.
Okay.
But most of the times they're gonna give the GUI interface because real time, right? They're gonna create roles as well.
Yeah,
Under the role,
understood.
our user ID will be created, right? Because roles is a hierarchy. I can show you what other things will as a hierarchy when we take in the Snowflake, right? Roles will be on the top,
Yeah,
okay, and under that we'll be having the users.
yeah, understood.
Yeah, I mean, a user can be a part of multiple roles, right? How I'm having the access to multiple roles here, similar to that. This is a one, okay. So for dev prod, I can enable, and most of the times, right? I forgot to mention one more thing here. For production, right? So they're going to use a separate account as well. For dev and UAT, they're going to create one separate account. For entire production, they're going to create one separate account as well, entire Snowflake account. Okay, and that's another different scenario in use case, and we don't need to bother about that section. So, any doubts, Shabri?
No, no, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
think I got the message from Harsha Trainings related to the attendance. So people who attended the session, right? So just send a message to the admin team like you have attended the session.
Yeah, I already did. They forgot to send me the link. Yeah, I'll remind
Okay.
them.
Okay. You just send a message to admin team, everyone. So people who attended the session. Yeah. Any other doubts so far?
yeah, real time also we are using the same or what? Uh,
Yeah. I didn't
accounts.
get your question, Nagesh. Can
Here
you
we are
again?
using trial account, right? Trial account, right?
Trial account.
Yeah. In real time, what would be the
No, real time we're gonna use the complete paid version, right?
just URL? Yeah?
No, you are only going to use it, but thing is, we have to pay the amount to the Snowflake because if it's only 20 days, right? 20 days or 30 days, something. Every 30 days, they can't go ahead and shift the data from one environment to another environment. It's not that much easy. Worksheets, you
But
can easily move it.
okay, the similar snow site is same, right?
Yeah, Snowsite will be same. Say Snowsite is the recent version of the entire web UI for the Snowflake. Previously, we'll be having the some basic one. I can show you that. I can pull up that for you. So earlier, no, it was not like in this format. It was completely different UI for the one. I can show you that.
No, that classic is not showing, right?
Yeah, Classic was gone. They have removed it. I think 2 months back only they removed it from the official portal as well. See the Classic one, it will show you like this. Once you log in, right? Able to see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
The Classic will be like this in this format where you'll get the right now our ID is able to see from the left hand side, right? But in the Classic window, so we can able to see the right side. See, this is how it looks like the tab, top menu, databases, shades, warehouses, worksheets, and everything. The query history and everything. This is how it looks like. Earlier version of the Snowflake UI. It's a classic console. Whatever we are seeing now, it's a Snow site. This is a latest version of the Snowflake Web UI.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all for today's session. And tomorrow we'll go and in-depth execution of the databases from the official portal only. I'm not going to give any separate documentation to deviate you from the official. I'm going to give I'll show you from the official document itself only, where you'll get a lot of options as well. And we don't need to bother about the different options inside the documentation. Just follow the main the syntax and what all things we need to remember. Those are sufficient. I can show you that once we comes to the execution part, right? I can show you how to do that and how to handle those statements, the nodes and everything. But making sure that, so I'm suggesting you to everyone, follow the official documentation only. There you'll get the lot of explanation about the each and every option, each and every command, what they were supposed to be used. They're going to give the complete detailed explanation.
So I have my own data. Can I upload or can we bring those
Yes,
data here?
yes, we can do
Okay.
that.
It should be in the CSV format or Excel.
No, yeah, I mostly we used to load it the CSV file. If it's a Parquet file, also we can do that. When we comes to the loading the data, right, loading and unloading the data activities, I can show you, Shabari, where
Okay.
internally the Snowflake will create the multiple stage layers, internal stage, external stage. External stage is nothing but where you'll get the data from the external part, kind of means S3 or ADLS, Azure ADLS or GCP buckets. That's external stage. Internal
Okay.
stage is nothing but where you can upload data from your system. The data will be
Yeah.
internally stored in your system.
Correct.
Yeah, uh, that I can show you to Shabra once we comes to the loading and unloading the data activities,
Okay,
right? I
sir.
can show you that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I got the question from Devi. So are we supposed to be having some knowledge on the Hadoop to learn the Snowflake? No, it's not a mandatory. Okay, so yeah, you'll get directly a Snowflake job as well. So I'm 100% sure about this one because right now Snowflake is slowly grabbing the entire market. Okay, to overcome the Hadoop, Spark, as well as the Databricks also. It's slowly capturing the entire market. Now, most of the projects, 90% of the projects, right? It's purely migration projects. So far, I worked on the 4 projects on Snowflake. The 4 projects are migration projects only from Hadoop to Snowflake. That means, see how slowly changing into Snowflake. Where they don't want to maintain the data into the Hadoop or different environments, where they want to store the data into the cloud. That is for mandatory, and for accessing the data to perform certain kind of operations, everything. So Snowflake is a very easy to implement, and we don't need to bother about the entire infrastructure wise. Everything it will be taken care by the Snowflake only. Only thing is, only we have to pay what you are executing it. That's all. Yeah, and Devi, I can say we don't need to learn Hadoop and Spark right now if you are a fresher. Okay, Devi, you can just unmute your mic and so you're a fresher or any prior experience into the IT. Just want to know so that I can give the complete path to where to start. Okay, you don't have any no working experience. Yes, then definitely it's going to help you a lot. But thing is, you have some basic and experience on the SQL and a little bit Python. Only 10% of Python is sufficient. And people who don't have any this experience, right, just inform to the Harsha Trainings. I'll talk to them so that I can start immediately. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining the session. We'll catch up tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, Surya.
Thank you,
I
Surya.
think.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.